Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Kistler O'Brien podcast. I'm Tyler Trumbauer with Kistler O'Brien Fire Protection. It's 2022, the third calendar year we're podcasting here. Started in 2020, full slate of episodes in 21, and now here embarking on episode 1 of the new calendar year. Happy New Year to all of you, our viewers and watchers. If you watch our episodes, you can do that, the video format, on the Kistler O'Brien YouTube page. But don't forget, you can also download and listen to all of our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. Really anywhere you get your podcast, you can find us there to look at all of our previous episodes and all of the great ones we have on tap for you here in 2022. Starting off today, we have a great conversation to kick off the new year with a new member of the KOB family, someone that works closely with me here in the marketing department. And we are honored to welcome to the KOB podcast today, Kelly Scott, the internal communications specialist here at Kistler O'Brien Fire Protection, working in the marketing department with yours truly in a great role here for KOB. And really, we're throwing her right into the thick of it here with KOB. Just a few weeks on the job and immediately in the bright lights of the KOB podcast. Kelly, thank you for a few minutes of your time here today. And kind of, like I said, it's been just a few weeks here as a member of the KOB family, but obviously you have years of experience as a professional in this space. So kind of walk us through your career a bit that led you up here to joining Kistler O'Brien.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. So my entire career has actually been in sports. So specifically baseball. Every single job I've had has been in baseball since then. But I was looking for a change, and I'm now at KOB.
So nearly a decade in the sports industry, now here in the fire and life industry. So quite the big jump from sports, particularly professional baseball, like you said, now coming into fire and life safety with Kistler O'Brien. What motivated you to make that move? Like you said, you were looking for a change, you sought it, and you found it here as a new member of the KOB family. But why make that move from sports to this, new industry, fire and life safety?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a move. But the best part is I absolutely love the sports world. It's a great time. It is a lot of hours though. So I was more looking to get really deeper dive into marketing, which this position at KOB has really offered me even within just this month that I've been employed here. So that's been a lot of fun. And that's really kind of what I was really looking for. And then also kind of like a more work-life balance. I really am clocking in at 7:30 and I'm out and done by 4:30. So that's been a really nice touch as well.
Certainly, and obviously something that you've done here, changing jobs, but changing industries in general is something that, like you said, may seem like a big jump to some, but in the world we live in now, the great resignation, as they're calling it, it's really not that unheard of, right? To go from something that you were doing for years and years in your life and maybe stepping back, maybe because of the pandemic, maybe these were thoughts you were having pre-COVID-19, but now you're stepping back and you're in something completely different. So did you think about that at all when you're like, everybody else is doing it, that kind of factor in a little bit as well?
Not really. I am always on the hunt. I always like a new challenge. And I think when I first saw this job posting, my eyes gleamed. I was excited. It just offered that challenge that I hadn't gotten yet. And it's going to really make me into another person. It's going to be able to shape into other possibilities and really have the chance to grow, which is awesome.
Certainly, and hopefully that growth happens within the Kistler O'Brien family and our organization, as many employees will attest to. A lot of opportunities for growth within the KOB family, either going from in the field to in the office or vice versa, from a technician to sales. We've spoken at length about that here on the KOB podcast in 2021. For our viewers, the Anthony Herzog podcast episode is a great testament to that storyline. So check that one out back in our 2021 archive if you missed that episode. So you mentioned it's been about a month here at KOB. What stands out to you as Kistler O'Brien as an employer, Kistler O'Brien as an organization, that you kind of want to get across right now for, maybe folks that are listening that are maybe on the outside looking in at KOB, potentially looking at it as an opportunity to make a move themselves?
Yeah, definitely. So in the short time that I've been here, I have really noticed a couple of things that really have really stood out to me. And as soon as I started this job, I truly became a member of the KOB community. Everyone was extremely welcoming. Everyone was really including. And that is something that you don't always get, especially in kind of like the COVID world with hybrid schedules and everything. But at KOB, like, you're truly a valued member. You're always heard, which is awesome. And then I would also say, I kind of mentioned it in my last answer, but the growth. If you look at our personnel chart, you can see how many people have progressed and they have grown at this establishment. We aren't just employees. We're not just people here. We are truly valued. And that's something that has really intrigued me about this position, for the sole fact of, okay, maybe this isn't the only role that I can do here. You really can grow here, and they value that. They value you as a person, not just an employee, which is awesome.
Certainly, and well said. And I think one of the areas that there really are for growth is that, especially in the last year or so with the growth of the company, is that we've seen a lot of new positions be created, in particular yours, the internal communications specialist role that you currently hold. You're the first one to ever have that at KOB, nearly 90 years of existence, a brand new role within the company. And it's something that it was born out of necessity of how we are growing and how many employees are on that personnel chart you just mentioned. So I know when you said you saw the job posting and it piqued your interest immediately, you likely did not know that that was a brand new position at Kistler O'Brien. But when you learned of that fact during the interview process, the hiring cycle, and then onboarding, how did that make you feel? Was that something that maybe intrigued you even more about this job opportunity when you found out that you would be the first individual to hold that role at KOB?
Yeah, I definitely would say it played a role in me accepting, just for the sole fact of, with a new position, obviously that shows that the company is growing because they're adding something new. And this position is brand new, and that just means there's so much more room for growth. Like, you can truly shape this role into what you want it to be. And we've even seen that since this month that I've started, is we are taking on some different things that we weren't really thinking that this was going to go into, but we've done that. And like, we've been going with it, and it's really developed already just in this short time. So that's a big part that really intrigued me about this.
Certainly, and very good point and well said about navigating these new uncharted waters. And if that's an opportunity that some folks like and some folks may not, but if you do, I mean, I think new roles like this is great for that. And certainly, I think me in particular enjoyed the open-mindedness you've had and your ability to adapt and take on these new challenges as they arise. And that will be, certainly pay dividends if you'd like to stay with the company long-term, any employee, to just soak up as much as you can knowledge about the organization, about the industry, and then that would better prepare you for other opportunities that may arise down the line. So speaking of open positions, we got a lot of those right now here at KOB, half a dozen to a dozen currently available that you can apply for on our website, kobfire.com, posted on various job boards as well. You could certainly stop by our office in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, if you're local, to fill out an application, speak with human resources as well. But all the job descriptions are available on our website as well, if you'd like to take a look at those and see what fits you from a variety of departments as well. This is not just operations, but we also have an IT opening as well. We even have some managerial positions available currently as of this recording. That may change depending on when the way the hiring cycle is going. Those things are rapidly changing every day. But that just shows the landscape that we currently have hiring right now, the growth that has come. So, as a new employee, someone that has gone through the onboarding process, is still going through it, obviously, but has gone through the bulk of it thus far, a month nearly in. What would your message be to folks that are looking to make a move, looking to potentially at Kistler O'Brien as a potential new employer, whether they're in this space, whether they have experience in fire and life safety, or they're like you and they're looking to come from professional baseball to fire safety?
I would say if you're looking at the job description and you are second guessing yourself, you're thinking, I don't fit every criteria. Take a chance, apply, do it, because you'll never know who's going to take a chance on you. I'm lucky that Tyler took a chance on me, and it's been working out really well so far. So fingers crossed it keeps going. But I would say definitely apply. Like if something intrigues you, take a chance, take that leap. Change is never bad. You're okay.
Certainly. And another question I want to ask you here is, you talk about change, and one thing that's also important to potential employees for a company is that culture change, right? So maybe they're leaving because they didn't love the culture at their previous employer. There's a lot of variety of reasons folks leave jobs, but the culture here at Kistler O'Brien, I mean, how do you assess that right now, coming from the sports world, which has a very different culture than really other corporations? So this is more, more corporate compared to baseball. However, what do you feel about it so far? And then obviously in your role, you are an agent of change to help mold our culture moving forward. So, kind of a twofold question. How do you assess it now? Secondly, where would you love to see it go moving forward with you in the role that you're in, having a hand in creating that tomorrow for Kistler O'Brien?
A big focus of my new position is to really show the employees that we appreciate them as a company. And so I think that, and planning more of these fun events to really get our employees to engage, and not just within their department. So we're not only putting technicians to get together. The point is so that our technicians are with our marketing department, our IT department. All of us are in this KOB community together, and all of us make it up. So we need to make sure that we're all on the same page. And I think that is probably the biggest focus. And that's what I'm really looking forward to in regards to changing the culture and really getting it to just grow in that aspect.
Very well said. And I think we can leave it on that note, because I think that's a good assessment of today, and then also some great vision moving forward here at Kistler O'Brien. Kelly, and like you said, glad that you made the change. Glad that you're here. We're glad to have you here at the KOB family. So again, thank you for that. We were also very happy to have you here as a guest on the KOB podcast. So you can check that off your bucket list here 1 month in, making an appearance on the KOB podcast. So we appreciate a few minutes of your time here today.
Thank you.
You got it. And thank you to all of our viewers for tuning in for this month's episode. If you are interested in applying for any of our open positions, we have open positions at all 3 of our office locations, our corporate headquarters in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, as well as our Delaware Valley division, which has an office based in Westchester, Pennsylvania, as well as our office located in Reading, Pennsylvania. Open positions, both in the office and on the road, available at all 3 locations. As Kelly said, growth and change, a lot of great things happening so far, more coming up on the horizons. So I implore you to please check out our open positions at kobfire.com. Check them out and take a look and apply if something piques your interest. Either way, we hope you can join us next month, as we'll have another KOB podcast episode for you dropping in just a few weeks as we get started on 2022 with the KOB podcast. That'll do it for us here today. Until next time, I'm Tyler Trumbauer with Kistler O'Brien Fire Protection. We'll talk to you then.